Welcome friends. So today we will have the lecture on the Bezier curve. So we are having the different types of the curves, including in the previous class we have discussed that. So many of the modeling techniques, that is the polygon meshes, parametric instancing, hierarchical modeling, constructive CSG, sweep objectives, etc. So today we will have the parametric curves, that is in between one of the major curve, that is called as the Hermite curves, and one more curve is called as the Bezier curve. This Bezier curve will be indicating the curves with the points, as we will discuss here. So the representation we have looked at so far up to now is the meshes at the large, difficult to edit, require normal approximations. Means, so whenever you are going for the meshing operations, we will feel or we will face some of the difficulties for the element selecting of the elements, because if you take the normal element, that element will have the maximum number of the small points. So it will take normal approximations. So parametric instancing has a limited domain of shapes. CSG is difficult to render and limited range of the shapes. CSG is called as the constructive solid geometries. This will be having the limited range of the shape. We will have the some of the shorter and simple shapes. We don't have the very critical shapes also. So whereas in the parametric curves and surface address many of these issues. That is the one of the issue is called as the more general than the parametric instancing and easier to control than meshes and implicit models. These are the two important issues while we are doing with the parametric curve. So let us see. So what is meant by the parametric curve? So definition of this parametric curve is called as one is a 1D for curves and 2D for the surfaces. One dimensional for the curves and two dimensional for the surfaces. So next one is define a mapping from parametric space to 3D points. So here I have shown in the first point 1D, 2D and the 3D surfaces. Here in this PPT it is not showing clearly, but so from 0 to 1 point it will be having the first point, then second one simple line, and third one is a simple Bezier curve. So now why parametric curves we should have? Because Bezier curves and B-splines curve also comes under the parametric curve. Parametric curves are intended to provide the generally of polygon meshes but with fewer parametric for smooth surfaces. Means this indicates that the polygon meshes have many parameters, but there are few vertices at the last position. So this will give you the very effective manner. So fewer parameters makes it faster to create a curve and easier to edit an existing curve. So whenever if you want to draw any of the curve, so that curve should have the first point and the last point. In between we can create many of the number of the points, so according to our requirement to draw the geometry. So parametric curves are easier to animate than the polygon meshes and the animation of the parametric curves. These are two different things, but the thing is polygon mesh and the parametric curves. So while doing the parametric curve, so we should have first point to the end point. In between we can have the another amount of the number of the points also. So let us see here, we have seen the parametric form of a line. So suppose we have the line that is x, y, z. So that is equal to, first one is x equal to x naught into t plus 1 minus t into x1. So whereas x naught, y naught, z naught are the points with respect to the x, y and z direction. x1, y1, z1. So that will indicate you the next point from the origin points. So here note that x, y and z are each given by equation that involves the same parametric as a t. So the t is a parameter, whereas these parameter will indicate to change the point from one position to the another positions. So that's why they are using the parameter called as a t. So some users are specified control points, that is the x0, x1, x2, x3. If the our curve is very big, so then we can have the number of the x0. X means x0, x1, x2. We can continuously do it. This is a simple example for the parametric type of the curves. So second thing that will comes under that next point is the Hermite-Splan curve. A splan is a parametric curve defined by control points. Means here in this operation we have the control points. Means from 0 position to the end position. If you draw a curve, so from first end that is the x0 and the last end that is the end point. So in between we can have the number of control points. That control points will control the spline. So wherever it can drop, means anyway any other session we can have the simple thing. Means the term spline dates from the engineering drawing. Means if you are doing the engineering drawing, so that drawing converted into draft, then converted into CAD model, whereas the spline was a piece of the flexible wood used to draw the smooth curves. Here we can have the very simple kind of the smooth curves also we can draw here. So the Hermite-Splan curve for which the user provides. So here in this one, the endpoints of the curve, that is a very important endpoints, means starting point we are going to do, that is the x0. Endpoints is also very important, because so if the endpoint is going very continuously extended, then we can have to increase the number of the control points also. So that is very important here. The parametric derivatives of the curve at the endpoints, that is a tangential with the length. Tangential with the length means at the every tangent of the curve we can draw a simple line. At the every tangent of the curve we can draw a simple line. So that simple line having the two endpoints, that simple line having the two endpoints, that is a 1 point and 2 point. So that endpoints of the line will give you the x0, x1, x2, x3, that is a continuously. So that is enough to define a cubic Hermite-Span. So more derivatives are required here for the higher order curves. If your curve is very higher order, means we can have the cubic spline. Suppose we have the cubic curves, then we can require the number of the control points to show or to have the spline. So next one will be the Hermite-Span second one. So here also in this one we are using the points, that is x0, x1, x1 dash. A cubic spline has 3 degrees and it is form of x equal to at cube plus bt square plus ct plus d. So x is equal to at cube plus bt square plus ct plus d. So whereas here this is called as a 3D cubic spline curve. As I already indicated you, if you have the cubic splines, that is a very critical condition of the curves. So for some constraints A, B, C and D are derived from the control points A, B and C. Here at cube plus bt square plus ct plus d. Here A, B, C and D are the control points of the cubic spline lines. These are the control points of the cubic span lines. So we have constraint also here. If the curve must have passed through the x0 when t is equal to 0. If it we having the first 0 point, then that is also t is equal to 2. T is a parameter where it is going to change from one position to the another position. Next one, the derivative must be x0 when t is equal to 0. Means from, if your parameter is in the 0 positions, your x0 is also in the 0 positions. If your parameter is in the 0 positions, then your derivative must be also in the 0 positions. The curve must pass through x1 when t is equal to 1. Simple thing. So how the parameter is going to increase from one position to the another position? So as the curve is going to pass from one position to the another point. If the derivative must be x1 when t is equal to 1 also. Same thing as earlier said. So in the Hermite-Span 3, for the solving of the unknowns, the same thing here, A, B, C and D. As same we have discussed here. So next point will be the basic functions of the Bezier curves and the Hermite curves. A point of the Hermite curve is obtained by multiplying each control point by some functions and summing. The functions are called as the basis functions. BASS, not the basic function, it's a basis function. So whereas as shown in the figure, so we are having here the 1, 2, 3 and 4 different types of the curves. So suppose in the first curve, red point is showing is the x1, x0, then x1 dash and x dash naught. So these are the derivatives and the curve lines, both things. So splines in the 2D and the 3D. So we have defined only 1D span. Up to now we have defined only 1D span. So for higher order dimensions, define the controlling points in the higher dimensions also. If the curve having the bigger size, means if it is having the cubic section, so then we have the number of 1D, 2D and the 3D. If it is simple one, we can have the 1D analysis. So or means 1D points. If it is some little bit complicated, then we can use the 2D. If it is cubic functions, then we will have the 3D function. So as the x, y and z as a parameter, that is equal to x1, x0, x1, y1, z1, then x0, y0, z0, then x1 dash, y1 dash, then z1 dash, x0 dash, y0 dash and z0 dash. This will show you indications of the figure. So that is equal to minus 2, 3, 0. So these are the parameters as shown in the figure. So now we'll move to the Bezier curve. So here in the Bezier curves, so different choices of basic functions give different curves. Means your different choice means the choice of the basic determines how to control points influencing the curve. This will indicate that so how the curve will be different from one position to the another position. So whereas in the Hermite cases, two control points define two endpoints. In the Hermite curves, two control points define the endpoints. Means the control points are the points it can define from one point to the another last point. So this is a simple one. So for Bezier curve, two control points define endpoints. In the Bezier curve, two control points define the endpoints and two control the tangents at the endpoints in a geometry way. Here we can draw the tangents of the curve to determine the or to draw the line. So that line having the two endpoints, that is the one endpoint and the second endpoint, final endpoint. These two endpoints will give you the x0, x1, x2 and x3 like continuously it is going to. Wherever the curve section will be coming, so in that curve sections we are going to draw a tangent line and that tangent line will be having the two control points, or we can call it the two endpoints, this endpoint and that endpoint, that is the two endpoints. So that two endpoints will define you the controlling points from one point to the another point. So Bezier curve. So this is very simple. The user supplies D control points, that is a Pi. Pi is I is nothing but the continuous various functions. So we can write x of t is equal to summation Pi bi raised to d into t. So whereas bi raised to d into t into bracket d by I ti dash 1 minus t raised to d minus I. This is a simple curve equation for the Bezier one. So here in this one, the basic functions, that is the functions bi raised to d are the Brinston's polynomials. We can call it as the Brinston polynomials of the degree d. D is called as a degree, whereas we can see them in the later section. So this equation can be done as in the matrix equation also. We can easily write in the matrix equation. So here the Bezier basis functions for the d is equal to 3. D is called, as I already said, that this d is called as the Brinston polynomial for the degrees. So here in this one the degree will be the 3 degrees, that is b0, b1 and the b2. b0, b1, b2 and the b3. These will be having the 3 degree of the freedom. So some of the Bezier curve example I will show you. So in the first curve we are having the simple curve. So and we have the points, that is the p0 control points p0, p1 and the p2. So these p0, p1, p2. So at the initial line we have drawn the tangent line from p0 to p1, and for this end we have again draw the tangent line from p1 to p2. So this p0, p1 and p2 will be called as a control points. These control points are going to have the line equations. So whereas in the second diagram, that is a B diagram, so the same thing we have drawn the 4 control points, that is a p0, p1, p2 and p3. The same thing at the first initial curve section we have again draw the tangent line. So that is from p0 to p1, and the upper section, that is p1 to p2, and last side we have again the p2 to p3. Total for the B section, so we are having the 4 control points, And in the third C diagram, so that is the P0 and the P0, P1, P2 and the P3. So this is a different thing. This is the cubic section of the sections. So whereas in the initial first point also we have drawn the tangent line, in between also we have drawn the tangent line, and we have drawn the third end point of the tangent line. We have fixed from P0 to P1 and P1 to P2 and P2 to P3. So this is again some of the simple example. So whereas in the D functions we have initially drawn the P0. We are having the point that is the P0. In the P0 section we have drawn the tangent line. And in the P2 point also we have drawn the tangent line. So in the both the conditions we have added one more control points, that is the P1 and the P2. So totally we are having the P0, P1, P2 and the P3. This is the next example of the drawing the control points or to show the control points. Whereas the last E section also we are having the different control points. Means for the curve we are having the 2 points. For the end point and the initial point we are having the 2 points. But we have drawn the different control points. That is the first point we are having the tangent line, that is the P0 to P1. And in the last point also we are having the tangent line, that is the P3 to P4. In between also we have drawn the control point, that is the P2. So totally we are having the P0, P1, P2, P3 and the P4. This is the next kind of the example of the Bezier curve. So this is a simple thing. We can draw the Bezier curve with the different control points. Okay. Thank you. So that next part will be continuing in the next class. Thank you.